My Winter Garden, by Anonymous. No one is less inclined to depreciate that magnificent winter garden at the Crystal Palace, yet let me, if I choose, prefer my own. I argue that in the first place it is far larger. You may drive, I hear, through the grand one at Chatsworth for 1/4 of a mile. You may ride through mine for 15 miles on end. I prefer, too, to any glass roof which Sir Joseph Paxton ever planned, that dome above my head some 3 miles high, of soft dappled grey and yellow cloud, through the vast latticework whereof the blue sky peeps, and sheds down tender gleams on yellow bogs, and softly rounded heather knolls, and pale chalk ranges gleaming far away. But above all I glory in my evergreens. What winter garden can compare for them with mine? True, I have but 4 kinds, Scotch fir, harley, furze and the heath, and by way of relief to them, only browse of brown fern, sheets of yellow bog grass, and here and there a leafless birch, whose purple tresses are even more lovely to my eye than those fragrant green ones which she puts on in spring. Well, in painting as in music, what effects are more grand than those produced by the scientific combination, in endless new variety, of a few simple elements? Enough for me is the one purple birch, the bright hollies round its stem sparkling with scarlet beads, the furze patch rich with its lacework of interwoven light and shade, tipped here and there with a golden bud, the deep soft heather carpet which invites you to lie down and dream for hours, and behind all the wall of red fir stems, and the dark fir roof with its jagged edges a mile long, against the soft grey sky. An ugly, straight-edged, monotonous fir plantation. Well, I like it outside and inside. I need no soar-edge of mountain peaks to stir up my imagination with the sense of the sublime, while I can watch the soar-edge of those fir peaks against the red sunset. They are my Alps, little ones it may be, but after all, as I asked before, what is size? A phantom of our brain, an optical delusion. Grandeur, if you will consider wisely, consists in form and not in size, and to the eye of the philosopher the curve drawn on a paper 2 inches long is just as magnificent, just as symbolic of divine mysteries and melodies, as when embodied in the span of some cathedral roof. Have you eyes to see? Then lie down on the grass and look near enough to see something more of what is to be seen, and you will find tropic jungles in every square foot of turf, mountain cliffs and debacles at the mouth of every rabbit burrow, dark strids, tremendous cataracts, deep glooms and sudden glories, in every foot-broad rill which wanders through the turf. All is there for you to see, if you will but rid yourself of that idol of space. And nature, as everyone will tell you who has seen dissected an insect under the microscope, is as grand and graceful in her smallest as in her hugest forms. The March breeze is chilly, but I can be always warm if I like in my winter garden. I turn my horse's head to the red wall of fir stems, and leap over the furze-grown bank into my cathedral, wherein if there be no saints, there are likewise no priestcraft and no idols, but endless vistas of smooth red green-veined shafts holding up the warm dark roof, lessening away into endless gloom, paved with rich brown fir needle, a carpet at which nature has been at work for 40 years. Red shafts, green roof, and here and there a pane of blue sky. Neither Owen Jones nor Wilmot can improve upon that ecclesiastical ornamentation, while for incense I have the fresh, healthy turpentine fragrance, far sweeter to my nostrils than the stifling narcotic odour which fills a Roman Catholic cathedral. There is not a breath of air within, but the breeze sighs over the roof above in a soft whisper. I shut my eyes and listen. Surely that is the murmur of the summer sea upon the summer sands in Devon far away. I hear the innumerable wavelets spend themselves gently upon the shore and die away to rise again, and with the innumerable wave sighs come innumerable memories and faces which I shall never see again upon this earth. I will not tell even you of that old friend. It has 2 notes, 2 keys rather, that Aeolian harp of fir needles above my head, according as the wind is east or west, the needles dry or wet. This easterly key of today is shriller, more cheerful, warmer in sound, though the day itself be colder. But grander still as well as softer is the sad soughing key in which the southwest wind roars on, rain-laden over the forest, and calls me forth, being a minute philosopher, to catch trout in the nearest chalk stream. The breeze is gone a while, and I am in perfect silence, a silence which may be heard, not a sound and not a moving object, absolutely none. The absence of animal life is solemn, startling. That ring-dove who was cooing half a mile away has hushed his moan. That flock of long-tailed titmice, which were twinging and pecking about the fir cones a few minutes since, are gone, and now there is not even a gnat to quiver in the slant sun rays. Did a spider run over these dead leaves, I almost fancy I could hear his footfall. The creaking of the saddle, the soft step of the mare upon the fir needles jar my ears. I seem alone in a dead world, and yet so full of life if I had eyes to see. Above my head every fir needle is breathing, breathing forever, Currents unnumbered circulate in every bough, quickened by some undiscovered miracle. Around me every fir stem is distilling strange juices, which no laboratory of man can make. And where my dull eye sees only death, the eye of God sees boundless life and motion, health and use.